This message is just for you. You are good enough. This is the episode for you. What can I do today, this week, to feel more like me, like a whole person in my new language? Hi, I'm Emily, and welcome to the Language Confidence Project. I'm here every weekday to cheer you on in your language learning and give you full permission to carve your own path and learn your language in a way that feels right for you. And one of the main causes of frustration that language learners face is what feels like this huge divide between their native language self, who has done so much, seen so much, is funny, is persuasive, knows how to craft their language to do whatever they want it to do. And then the new language them, who just feels so two-dimensional in comparison. Native speaker them has so many nuanced opinions and anecdotes and memories. They've got credibility in their field, expertise about all these different things. And then they find themselves saying things like, I like football. I think it's fantastic. And that's not them. They've got a lifelong love and dedication to football. But that's not what they know how to say in their new language. And the trouble is, if we stay in textbook world, it doesn't necessarily train us, no matter what level we are, to talk passionately about the things we really care about. It's fine if it's sport or our favourite animal, but what about all the other hobbies and interests and fun facts and YouTube rabbit holes that we've been down? What about the things that make us, us? And so today, if you're feeling like there's too much of a gap between the you in your new language and your real self, I have a little tiny mini project for you. I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and I'd love for you to pick the one that best applies to you. So the first question is this: what is one thing that you talk about all the time in your native language, but you've never discussed in your new one? Maybe it's a topic that would just never come up in a classroom or in a textbook. Maybe it's something that's really specific to your job or your community or your hobbies, but just something that you're really passionate about that is so important to native speaker you and that new language you hasn't really met yet. Question 2. If you're living, studying, parenting, being a professional, or in some other way adulting in a country that doesn't speak your native language, I also want to ask you the opposite question. What's one thing that you talk about all the time in your newer language, but actually you've never really discussed in your native language? Is it time to bridge that gap and practice talking or writing about that thing in the language you were born speaking? And I'm not just talking about actively translating here, but what do people actually say about that thing? What are the common expressions and shortcuts and cultural references that people attach to this thing in your first language? And question number 3, if you're thinking, well, actually I'm a really advanced speaker, I use both of my languages all the time, every day, in approximately parallel ways, can't really think of anything, think I talk about exactly the same stuff in both of my languages, I have a slightly different question for you. What is one conversation that you've just never had before? Go and find something that you know nothing about in either of your languages as a starting point, or find a question online that you've never considered before. Find a topic with a whole load of new concepts or keywords. It could be anything: art history, gardening, sheet metal work, foraging for mushrooms, literally anything. And just go down a bit of a rabbit hole in one language first and then in the other, and just see where it takes you. Let your curiosity guide your language learning for a bit. Because no matter what level you're currently at, it's never too early, and it's also never too late to start thinking about how you can bring your new language closer to you, to the person that you are, the experiences that you have, and to all the things that you care about. It makes the language learning journey so much more fulfilling when you feel like you're a real person in your language, that you can express the person that you really are inside. And for me, it makes all the difference between seeing language learning as a skill, just like, I don't know, learning how to play an instrument, learning to code, and feeling like language learning is actually something that I can use in the world to communicate, to make connections, and to express parts of myself that maybe even I've never expressed in my native language before. Good luck today, language learners, and I hope you find something really interesting to explore. And if you do, I would love if you can tell me about it in the comments. Other people will love to hear what you have been learning about, and we all need more rabbit holes, so let me know. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.